It's time for some carbon-based gaming.
Tony.
No more field work? As commander of the station, everything will be less dangerous? Isn't that what you said? And yet you're on this mission to make sure everything's being done correctly. I understood you. I was always there to support you. But then you made a mistake and I misjudged you. Because of the emergency protocol, every single team member's location was checked to begin rescuing them. This revealed that Tessa Carter isn't out there. But instead, flying with Mark is someone called Melissa Luna. Who is this Melissa Luna, I wondered. And so I asked the vice commander, the doctor, everyone. Nobody knows. The entries and examinations, all forged. According to the mission data, she was part of all kinds of missions in the last few years. First-rate references, lots of results. She could be your rival. And then I had this nagging idea. I compared her mission data to yours. Melissa Luna was always on expeditions whenever you had to work, usually while you were out somewhere else. Whenever you had to leave for an emergency, or when there were issues with the radio units, anything that would need the attention of a commander. And at the same time, Melissa Luna was out exploring with the rover. But because Melissa Luna doesn't exist, there's only one explanation. You were driving across the planet in that rover, and fed the rover with forged data. Otherwise, someone might have noticed. Me. I swore I'd love and cherish you. I'd support you in whatever you did, and I would have, even with this, if you'd trusted me. But instead, you kept it a secret and lied to me. You always want to do everything on your own, and without help. I just don't get it. I want to see you again and talk about this. I'm sure you can explain everything. We've had contact from a ship that can evacuate us. Who knows if we'll ever get a chance like this again. And so I voted against waiting for your return. I want to begin the evacuation as soon as possible. Unfortunately, my vote was the deciding one. Maybe I'll come to regret this. But staying here and maybe even losing Finn instead of you, I can't. I hate myself, but all of the stuff recently, forgive me.
Mr. Bishop said our outpost would be closing down in about a year, so we're going to have to be transferred to other places to jobs.
He told me, and
it was,
be honest.
Yeah.
A boring, everyone.
No access.
I saw it with my own eyes, Tessa. She transformed the drill room in seconds while floating in the air.
I believe you.
We have to evacuate with the shuttle.
Where to? It's capable of flying through space, but is used for locomotion on the planet. It doesn't have enough power to get us all to any spaceport. And there are reasons why we are not on the other planets drilling for resources. They are barely habitable.
So should we just wait?
No. We go for double security. We will send out a distress signal for an evacuation. Our best chance is that a ship will hear it and get us out of here. At the same time, we will examine the most promising accessible planet for a chance of survival. The scouts will come back. In case no other ship has arrived and the planet is habitable, we will evacuate on our own with the shuttle.
That is risky, especially for the scouts.
I am the best pilot. I will fly.
I thought so. I will accompany you.
What?
Joe, you can do this. Mark and I have been a team for many years and have the most experience of anyone here in exploring alien planets. I will not entrust this mission to anyone else in my place and put him or her in that kind of danger. You guys set the signal, get everything ready, and seal off the station until we return or you get picked up.
All right.
Good. I need a list of all the planets and the scientific assessment of their habitability and distance.
Understood.
Okay, you go there, you over here. Ow! Crap! Ugh, just leave me alone. Damn technology.
No, we're always happy to see you, Mr. Bishop.
I don't want to keep you. You're doing an outstanding job. But there is some important news. In just about a year's time, you will be able to leave this planet. The yields have been decreasing, which has nothing to do with you, and the trade routes have shifted. All those involved will receive compensation and alternative positions, or other options and settlements, whatever they prefer.
That... well, what can I say? I will inform my staff.
I will be speaking to a few of your team members personally. Your husband, for instance. But apart from that, are there any grievances you have to report?
Well, we're missing a team. They should have gotten back yesterday, but there was a storm in that sector, so we're not too worried yet. The second rover and a team is ready to look for them, but so far we don't think that's necessary.
Insightful. I agree with you. Nevertheless, keep an eye out.
Of course. Always.
Three planets within the solar system can be reached. Their calculated vitality is at 22, 29, and 42%. As a comparison, this planet is at 94%. Their distances are 2 days again, and 4 days respectively. The ship has enough power for 10 to 11 days, depending on whether there are any complications and how much energy it would take to navigate the planet.
Pretty tight then.
I've seen worse.
True. Save the third planet's coordinates on the ship, and thanks for your efforts.
You seem pretty sure.
Yes, it's unpleasant, but...
I meant you seem happy.
What? No, I'm not happy with these circumstances at all. I mean, I enjoy and miss the thrill of a challenge. I have to admit. That sort of thing just gives me... life. Energy. But I would prefer if there was not so much at stake.
I suppose it is 3 times.
Everything
Okay,
works out.
quiet please, everyone. Thanks. Okay, yesterday we received a reply from the Callan Co. They will reach us in 2 days. As it's a pretty big ship, they are going to have to land outside in a quite far away sector. We have set up an emergency shelter and will get everybody there.
What about those who are still out there?
They're 2 days overdue and aren't reacting to any radio signals. We don't know their exact location. We have no choice.
And that's enough for us to just abandon them?
Let me explain what we have planned. Then we can discuss everything. And considering the situation, I would be happy to vote on this. Okay? Good. So, our plan is to lock down the facility with the NOAA evacuation protocol. We can easily keep the doors to the lab and storage open by other means. Iron bars should do the trick. That way they will have access to tools and food. We will only take what we need for the evacuation. The Calenco is equipped with long-range scanning technology and life support systems. Maybe we can convince the commander to wait a few days. Even if our missing crew members can't contact us, we will notice their re-entry into the atmosphere.
The commander is going to go nuts and do nothing when we tell him what's happened here. Tessa and Mark are dying out there. It's just like when Brown and Summers didn't show up again.
If it's as bad as you say and as bad as we all think, then we shouldn't be staying here, should we? They'd have done the same, however reluctantly, because it's our best chance at survival. In fact, those are our orders, but my offer still stands. We can hold a vote. Commander Carter, I hope this message reaches you in time. I've tried to reach you on every single channel. There's been no reply so far, but I'm trying one final time. We've started the evacuation protocol NOAA and almost completed it. A rescue ship is on its way and will pick us up. We have already set up a temporary shelter at the evacuation point. We haven't heard from any other ships. I can't say when we'll be able to send out a team to get you. I don't even know if the corporation will be willing to do that. They wanted to abandon this outpost anyway, as you know. The whole team and their families, they're all either already at the evacuation point or will be there soon. I'll join them in a moment. We've had problems with our vehicles, but we haven't had time to take care of them. I will be reluctantly using the last functioning rover to get to the evacuation point. One of the broken rovers remains in the hangar. I hope you and Mark can get it working again. I also hope you will get back in time and that I will see you again. The evacuation point sector in the database is 29-14-Z...
That's her core. That means it can't be Mark. But then she was the danger we ran away from. So she was here then.
It looked like she was keeping the security officer from speaking.
Yes. However, she did that. She was a few meters away from him. But she didn't want me to find out this point's name. She said that it wasn't planned that he couldn't speak. What does this all mean?
How long ago was this core?
79 days.
The sector began with 2914? That wasn't all. The evacuation point should be listed in the database and reachable by rover.
They won't be there anymore, Tessa.
I hope so.
You still want to go there?
It could take weeks to repair this console. Months until we establish contact with a ship. Setbacks, despair, boredom, solitude. And all the while we'll have a mysterious figure running around. Sooner or later I'll be sitting in that rover trying to figure out what I'm doing all this for and if my family managed to get away. To safety. I should have that certainty before I put everything I've got into repairing this thing.
That is illogical. The longer you survive, the higher the chance of getting that certainty is, and your chances of survival are highest here.
I know it's illogical, but I have to do it. I have to follow my instincts.
You can manipulate your instincts. I know that from other interactions with humans. Just imagine hugging them tightly.
My thoughts are only showing me how they're sitting there, huddled up in fear in a makeshift shelter, waiting for salvation that never comes. Or never came. I have to get that thought out of my head. Only then can I concentrate on my own survival.
I do not have enough limbs to physically hinder you. According to the security officer, they made their way to an evacuation point which lies in a sector beginning with 29 to 14. The final 2 digits are missing. Without them, we are unable to locate the evacuation point with certainty.
Doctor, I'd like to have a word with you about the commander. Who is he?
You know I can't tell you, Mr. Bishop. Doctor-patient confidentiality.
Well, it's my duty to ensure that everyone in this station survives. I won't be visiting for another year, so I need you to give me any and all relevant information.
You're making me break all the rules, and believe me when I say I am not happy. But I understand. Let me put it this way. He is feeling the pressure and thinks he can deal with everything. But his medical records say otherwise.
Insightful, and good to know. And our leading explorer?
Tessa is happy to throw herself into her work, rarely sleeps, and consistently delivers top results. I always advise her to take time to relax, but that just makes her laugh. Her examination results are always normal, so I don't have any authority for a medical intervention, but...
No buts. She is showing exactly the level of commitment I expect.
That doesn't surprise me. Well then, let's have a look. No, the scans confirm the blood levels and all other tests, Joe. He's perfectly healthy. No abnormalities or substances in his blood. Nothing. And compared with the last routine examination, there are pretty much no differences. Not even showing signs of shock, which frankly doesn't surprise me. He's always been pretty hardened when it comes to things like this.
But he's been talking about some witch who just made his teammate vanish.
What? So why didn't they find a body?
He didn't say she killed him, but that he just vanished into thin air, and then he went back to the station immediately. And I thought you would tell me that he's just in over his head. Cabin fever, homesick, lack of oxygen, scurvy, psychological problems, sweaty feet, anything that would be comprehensible.
Well, I'd need more time for a psychological examination, but physically, there are no indications of any issues.
That looks like a handwritten logbook. Like mine. Every page describes a desolate place, maybe here on this planet, and then some kind of fantasy story that fits that place. A city, a battle, animals made of metal, something like that.
Okay, everyone ready? The emergency lockdown is about to be initiated.
Ready!
Very good. Here it goes.
Warning, emergency lockdown.
Damn it!
Welcome back. Any luck?
Oh, yeah. Some sponges and a few weird mushrooms.
Well then, have fun with them.
Will do.
Was that all for today?
Yeah, you can close everything down.
Excellent.
It's all closed and locked. How is that even possible?
I have no idea, but I agree with you. I'll go through all the protocols again. Maybe someone else opened it. Maybe Anthony went out to pick some flowers again.
The gate was closed. You can see it on the surveillance cam. She just went through.
Impossible.
Is that our ship? The one we crashed with?
Outpost 1124, I cannot detect any major lifeforms.
Tony, we saw her again yesterday. At first on a security cam, and then we saw her in person. She somehow made the plants grow faster? They're already covering parts of the building outside.
We have to be careful, but we can't do anything but evacuate. She doesn't seem to be dangerous, even though we don't know how she's doing what she's doing. The ship will be here in 3 days.
The return was scheduled for yesterday.
As if I didn't know that. What?
She said something.
And what did she say?
That's not important, but it's the way she sounded.
What did she sound like?
She sounded like Tessa.
Impossible. Your imagination is playing tricks on you, Joe.
You think? She's already doing things that should be impossible. So what does that change?
You're stressed, Joe. Tessa wants to and will save us. You know her. She won't kill us.
You're probably right. Sorry, I just had to tell someone. To say it out loud.
Don't worry, Joe. We'll get through this.
Hey, Mark, it's just like you said. The output is getting lower, and the impurities are getting stronger.
Shoot. Alright, thanks. The transport ship has already made contact and will be here soon. Please discuss with Anthony how we might extract the Gaffinium. There must be a way.
Understood.
What is this mess? What happened up there?
That's just it, Mark. Like I said, everything's changed. And we're not just talking about moving around a chair or painting the walls. The console was moved to the other side. The corner was intact, and...
Who did this?
I don't know who she is, but it's got to be the one Fry told me about. She never even touched this stuff.
Doesn't work? Yeah, right. I mean, I came here yesterday to check. What the hell? There's a cog missing. Who would... Mark!
I hate this gate so much. I hate this whole station. A penny? If I find out who put a penny in here, am I the janitor at a primary school or something? There we go, all set to work.
Hey, Fry, are you okay? What happened? Where's Brown?
That's a damn good question. I think the answer is everywhere. Wizard of Oz mission. Don't get me started. More like Baba Yaga the Witch.
What are you talking about?
She just showed up, man. At least I think it was a woman.
Watch your tone when you're talking to me. And what happened then?
She made him disappear. He was gone. We saw her stand on a cliff. A woman in a spacesuit. Kenneth approached her and she looked at him. Boom! One gesture of her hand and he was gone.
What do you mean, gone?
Gone as in turned to dust.
Are you drunk? Did this woman not see you?
No, I was hidden behind a hill. Then she started turning towards me. I jumped into the rover and drove off. I got beat up pretty bad, but I didn't care.
And you want me to believe this hogwash?
Yes, I know what I saw. I maybe don't know who it is, but that woman was wearing one of our suits.
Right. You're going to medical. Right now. Have them check out your head.
Any ideas? Because I'm stumped.
Nope, the solar module is broken and we don't have a replacement. And the cables don't fit the hydrogen systems because nobody is able to decide on a standard for them yet. You know, the emergency generator by the drilling hole has a battery that it charges while it's running. That one might fit.
Mark would kill you.
Yeah, it would only last a couple of hours, but if they ever pick the rover up, well, at least they wouldn't have to push it.
I'll keep it in mind.
It's got power from the station, but just shows error messages when I start it. I only know the point's name, but I don't have the coordinates. I have to look for them on the control room's console. All areas are open and the garbage incinerator is generating power. I shouldn't change anything around. What's this, Core?
That's a mission console. With this, you can access saved locations and expeditions from this station's past. Scanning. I can find no evacuation data.
We can take a look at it anyway, even if it won't get us anywhere.
We only know part of the sector name of the evacuation point, 29 to 14. But 2 digits are missing and probably only the security officer knows them. We only know part of the sector name of the evacuation point, 29 to 14. But 2 digits are missing and probably only the security officer knows them. We only know part of the sector name of the evacuation point.
There's nothing important left in here. Test tubes, pipettes, spoons. I've put a few acids here. Maybe I should take it with me again. I shouldn't carry around more. That looks like a handwritten. Every page describes a desolate place, maybe here on this planet, and then some kind of fantasy story that fits that place. A tension strap. Now I have 2 of them. There's a manuscript here. A short story called A Little Monolith. It's signed by Melissa Luna. The hook can hold these straps easily. I can lift or pull something heavy with this construction. It would help if I attached the straps to the object in question, though. It won't open. A ranger who sang an elven song by a wall. Some sort of manuscript. It's titled... It's about an IMC. I remember Tony liked to test read stuff for colleagues, but there's no name on the
It's not unusual for nature to The plants have grown right into these rooms. If there was someone living here, they'd have taken care of them. There's always something better.
It's supposed to contain a battery that fits into the rover. This cylinder down here looks like the compartment for it. This has to be the compartment the mechanic was talking about. All right, I guess all the cables have to come off first. And there it is. I removed it from the generator. One of the mechanics said that it should fit in the rover. As long as I don't know what's missing, I won't do anything with it. There's diagnosis programs for that. It's got power from the station, but just shows error messages when I start it. I only know the point's name, but I don't have the coordinates. I have to look for them on the control room's console. I only know one part of the evacuation point's coordinates. I'm missing 2 more numbers, and it could be any of them.
Tessa, we're not going for a joyride. We want to find the evacuation point. Here we will not find out which of the points was their evacuation point. We only know part of the sector name of the evacuation point. 29 to 14. But 2
He stopped specifically to point at something.
It can only be this sign.
Level 02. Could these be the last numbers of the evacuation point?
This is very possible, but would also be a great coincidence.
29, 14, 02.
You should be able to find the mission point in the console on the right side in the control room. Tessa, we're not going for a joyride. We want to find the evacuation point.
That's the point the security officer was talking about. Let's have a look then. A fully functioning rover could manage this route, yes. I doubt the one in the hangar would manage it. I have to repair it and check the analysis program to find out more. This is not the vehicle that is available to us. A fully functioning rover could manage this route. I doubt the one in the hangar would manage it. I have to repair.
You could set a route, but as long as we don't know what sort of terrain the rover is capable of, that would be pointless.
So we have to repair it first and then analyze it. Okay, so we'll definitely need the rover. I guess we'll play mechanic after all. Thanks for not pointing out that Mark would come in handy right now. As long as I don't know what's missing, I won't do anything.
Start analysis program. No battery fitted. Please insert compatible model. Axle mounting back right broken. Replacement needed. For better reachability, work safety and load relief for the axle. The vehicle must be stored in an elevated position.
We need to lifting points. Tessa, these straps are not long enough.
I could wedge that in there to give it a good grip. But there's nothing in reach that I could latch on to the crane. The hook can hold these straps easily.
It would help if I attached the straps.
I could wedge that in there to give it a good... I can't just lift the rover with a hook. There's no coupler or... If I attach them to the crane, I could probably lift something pretty heavy.
It would help if I attached the straps to the...
We need to lifting points. Tessa, these straps are not long enough.
I'm pretty sure I'll find something better. Okay, the hook is attached to the straps and the crane. And up we go. Carefully. Let's hope the crane endures. Someone removed the battery. It was probably broken and needs to be replaced. I guess a AA battery won't cut it.
No, you need a compatible model with various specifications.
What a surprise, Core. Please look for the next convenience store so I can go and buy one.
Would you like the distance in kilometers or light years?
Fine, I get it. Well then, let's look for a special battery that you probably... Of course, the analysis program was right. And that's that. I'll take it with me. Right. That should work. Oh yeah, all the little gizmos in the rover are coming to life. He's all powered up. I've replaced the battery, so it's got power. The axle mounting is broken. I've taken it with me and have to find a replacement. I should be able to recreate the mounting with this. Maybe I can find the model in the computer. I can't just put these parts in like this. The 3D printer needs the metal to be homogeneous. This controls the 3D printer and has a lot of parts to choose from.
What a strange part for a machine.
And if I'm honest, I don't even know what to look.
A simple sphere. But 3 oval stones with engravings of letters and stars. What a strange part for a machine.
And if I'm honest, I don't.
What a strange part for a machine.
And if I'm honest,
it is a skull. This could be some kind of lever. It says Flugelduffel on it. This could be some kind of lever. What a strange part for a machine.
And if I'm honest,
a printer that can produce simple but interesting objects of the same type. A printer that can produce simple but interesting objects of the same type. What a strange part.
And if I'm honest,
this is apparently a 3D puzzle. This is clearly the seal of a king of Lithuania. A heavy idol to be formed from. It has a little the shape of a skateboard. A set of several dice with different numbers. This is a towel. The model simply includes 3 shells.
a 3D printer that can print, but there's no material in it. I wonder if I can print a new axle with this computer. I should be able to recreate the mounting with this. Maybe I can find the model in the computer. I can't just put these parts in like this. The 3D printer needs the metal to be homogeneous. I can't just burn them and stick them together. The rover is going to have to put up with a lot. I'm going to need a solid new part. I can retrieve a box for hazardous material. I'm going to need their ID. There are some elements and materials written. This part is from the rover's axle mounting, and it's broken. I have to find some way to replace it. There's a serial number here. GN2144FN. This controls the 3D printer. Here, that's the axle mounting serial number. I'll save it to my favorites. So it says here that we need at least 500 grams of rainy metal, an alloy. The object itself is only about 440 grams, but the printer needs more material for the process to support the model. That's why we need 500 grams. Where can we get rainy metal?
Rainy metal is mostly made up of gophinium, so it is a relatively new substance. Due to its high stability and light weight, it is mostly used to make vehicles. Gophinium was only discovered a few decades ago. Following this discovery, facilities like this one were constructed everywhere to obtain it. You will not be able to find it in the machines or walls here, but it was being mined here, so there must be some of it somewhere. Majalt is also a rare metal, but it has been known for much longer. It used to be used in all kinds of things, but ever since they found out it made a profitable alloy with gophinium, it has become incredibly valuable.
So we need pure Majalt and gophinium.
I registered Majalt before. The screws in the workbench down there are made from Majalt. Confirmed. Majalt screws. That means you already have some with you.
Excellent. Now all I need is gophinium. Calibrate your environmental scan to specifically look for these important elements. There has to be some gophinium somewhere around here.
A multi-purpose room. It was my sensors cannot detect any gophinium. The outpost's main control room. The consoles on the left side are used for communication inside and outside processes like drill depth, garbage incineration, and door. The devices on the right side are used to control air and water. This whole room is connected to the incinerators. My sensors cannot detect any gophinium. A medical ward. Equipped with an operation. My sensors cannot detect any gophinium. This is a peculiar combination. This room is made up of parts of a biology lab version. It was conceptualized as a white room, but both devices are working again. However, the plants in the back incubator are thriving again. My sensors cannot detect any gophinium. The command center's Great Hall. My sensors cannot detect. This hallway leads to the workers' quarters and the station's leader. This is the commander's quarter. My sensors cannot detect any gophinium. A commander's living quarter, version 2.9, with bathroom, double bed, children's bed. My sensors cannot detect any gophinium. Outpost 1124 of the I cannot detect any major life. My sensors cannot detect any. The outpost has an area of calculating when the outpost was a. Considering the overgrowth, sunlight, the results are based on growth rates on Earth and comparable planets. My sensors cannot detect any gophinium. tunnel connecting the drilling room with the interior. My sensors cannot detect any guffinium. This room is the drilling station. The workers can climb down the sides to manually. It looks like this room has a self-contained power. The room is mainly made of titanium. There is guffinium among the ore samples. Tessa, there are other materials mixed in, but there should be enough for the axle mounting. Would you like me to fly into this dark, obvious, menace?
Well, yes.
As empty as a black hole, but it hasn't quite got the same pull.
One of these ore samples contains guffinium, which is exactly what we need for the axle mounting. But it's too big to carry. Plus, there are other elements mixed in. We have to somehow extract the guffinium. There's, well, not a lot happening.
But it was an interesting idea, Tessa. It worked with the crystal after all.
Sure. Crap, how do I know which acid dissolves which chemical substance? This sample contains none of the metal. Yes! It looks like it's working! It's fizzing and there's liquid running off the bottom.
Some of the elements in the sample have been dissolved. This sample is made of 70% guffinium, 18% iron, and 12% gold.
I already used that. Even if I could break the ore with this, which I can't, the guffinium still wouldn't be pure. There has to be another way to remove the impurities.
This sample is made of 70% guffinium, 18% iron, and 12% gold.
There's, well, not a lot happening.
But it was an interesting idea.
Sure. Crap, how do I know which...
There are some elements and materials written down here.
I could mix the acids in a separate container.
If you want to achieve anything with this, then you will need more than just an approximation of components.
Yeah, I know, but I want to test something. Test tubes, pipettes. I've put a few acids here. I shouldn't carry around more than 2 of these acids.